And welcome back to TIA's Network of the Future interview series as we speak to some of the conference session speakers to get a better sense of what we can expect at TIA 2016 in Dallas on June 6th through 9th. Joining us on this segment is Tim Doolittle. He's Director of IP Network and Systems at CenturyLink. And Tim, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Well, thanks for being here. Let's talk about the true real-world benefits of NFV. I want to start by talking about cost savings. Is cost savings still really considered the primary benefit for carriers?
Cost savings is clearly a big benefit. By far not the only one, though. Time to revenue is a key one. It takes such a shorter period of time to activate new services compared to the activation cycles of days or weeks or even months. You can turn services up much more quickly with NFV. That's a key benefit. Operations efficiency in managing these services, managing things that are in the cloud is a lot more efficient, a lot more subject to automation than it is if you have a lot of disparate hardware pieces of equipment and circuits out there that need to be re-engineered for every new service. Faster evolution. So it's possible when we have an NFV environment to have services that evolve much more quickly than they do today, and that allows everybody to keep up with the changing times much more effectively. And finally, reliability.
So Tim, as far as that relationship between NFV and cost savings, is the realization of those cost savings through commoditized equipment usage by these carriers?
That no question that's part of it, but it's I think the benefits that accrue from these other operational efficiencies, time to revenue efficiencies, are in many cases as big, if not bigger. So the benefits in terms of cost savings that we get from the commoditized equipment clearly there, but I think there's so many other things that accrue as well that it's hard to pick out the equipment as even the dominant form of savings.
Tim, let's talk briefly about agility, of course also being a primary benefit for network functions virtualization, as really web scale players can now switch or could switch on and off in seconds, and now telecom networks can soon switch on and off in minutes instead of months. Is that the case? Absolutely, and it makes a huge difference. So now customers that previously had to plan for multi-month, sometimes multi-year projects to change their networking technology are faced with much shorter intervals. Now that's a two-edged sword. It actually reduces the stickiness of large-scale network implementations, makes it much easier to switch from one provider to another. And so what that does, it puts a premium on the ability of carriers and service providers to differentiate themselves with increased service and better reliability. Now I want to talk about interfaces and whether they are open enough for next generation core, really for mobile networks. In other words, what are carriers really saying about upstream interfaces to applications and then downstream interfaces to equipment's management systems? I think the practical world that we're in now is such that the openness of these interfaces is not where it needs to be fully interoperable. And that doesn't mean that they're not able to support next generation core or mobile networks, but it's very difficult to work between different providers and mix and match the components. So I think they are open enough to implement solutions. They're not open enough to provide a fully interoperable environment yet. Now, of course, as you know, carriers are very interested in making NFV functions carrier grade. Is this possible, and when can we really expect to see this level of NFV deployment? It absolutely is possible. It's going to happen at every conference. It will happen. There's no substitute for time and experience in terms of the components of what it's going to take to achieve that carrier grade level of reliability. But I think we can accelerate that timeline if the developers of the technology pay attention to the instrumentation of their solutions to allow the in-depth monitoring and
performance management of the solutions, and make their products very open to the operations teams that have to run them, so that they can quickly determine what glitches there may be, help the developers fix their problems, and develop a more robust solution.
Well, Tim, thanks for your time, and we'll see you down in Dallas at TIA 2016.
Absolutely, delighted.
And for our viewers, please visit TIA2016.org for the program schedule and registration information. And if you're a startup and want to participate in TIA 2016 Startup Challenge, you can apply on TIA2016.org. So long.